Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Flag. Happy birthday to you. I told you, there's only one United now in the Premier League, and that's Newcastle United. You lot, Man United, are finished.
Matty Renton's on it every week, cooking someone.
Gloating, makes me
someone.
sick. Why? How does he keep doing this?
Why?
More to come about that not next week, very soon. Coming up very soon.
Just move
But
on.
welcome along to the weekend roundup, the show where we round up all of the games that took part in the Premier League over the weekend. Don't forget you can get involved by just hitting us up in the comments. You will notice our beautiful Christmas set looking really nice. Look, we've even got the Christmas stockings over there. Flex Matisse, AGT Abbi. Even I've got one over there. Right? Yeah. I've got one as well. What's going to be happening is every time we win a game, there'll be something nice put in there. Every time we lose a game, there'll be something horrible put in there.
Me
That's
and
how
Flex gonna be starving.
my God.
That's how it's going to go.
Can we just give us them things now?
Starving.
And once again, just introducing the panel, we got Matisse, we've got Abbi,
That's Sheff.
we've got AGT,
That's Sheff UTD.
and we got Flex. It is his birthday. Wishing him a happy birthday.
It was.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Flex. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
It's even like a football.
Thank you.
Delivered by Ty.
Exactly. The sport in which I hate the most.
Every time Jason
sport
says,
of
"Oh,
which
I'm
I'm
not
trying
sure
to
if I'm
make
going to do it because mess," and then he just comes
Just
up
goes
with it.
along.
anyway.
Make a wish.
All the time, yeah.
Right. We did, if you guys have watched the special show that we did on, he's blown out the camera.
Oh, sorry, I didn't work.
Right.
Health and safety. There's a lot of flammable objects here.
Now we did a special show on Saturday, the EAFC show, and you got a cake in that one, and you did make a wish.
Done a wish out in public.
He made a wish.
He made a wish.
He made a wish, and he said, "Wish United to win."
When I make a wish for this, I'm gonna keep it private.
Didn't quite work out, but we'll get to that. But just for that,
Yes.
show
just
brought to you
before
today
that,
by Fair Play.
As you can see on the screen, again, the video is brought to you by Fair Play. It's an app that allows you to place real money bets against your mates without the need for cash. You can bet on whatever you choose, bet with your mate on FIFA.
I love this bit every week.
Golf match, anything you make the rules. You make the rules. You're the boss when it comes to Fair Play. Have a go at that. Mate that never pays up.
Make sure they pay
Make
up.
sure they pay up, mate. I'll be knocking on the door, mate. Use this app to make sure, as you know, no commission, 100% of the winnings goes to you. Free to download, so if you both bet a tenner, the winner is taking home a score. Do we still say score these days? Is that running out? I don't know.
Yes,
So download the app via the link in the description or scan the beautiful QR code that you can see just below Flex's right arm there and make a bet with VR Sports. But remember, if you entered last week's Saka promo code, check the Fair Play accounts and there should be a cheeky £5 free bet for you there. This week, though, we've got a special. Get a
Saka
free.
never lets you down, man.
He never does. Well, according to Fair Play, get a free £5 bet if Man United or Chelsea score when using the promo code SCORES. Now, that could be a tough ask for Manchester United. You haven't scored many goals this season.
They have to be on this game.
If you've never used it before, again, use the link in the description, QR code, and you're good to go. Of course, you need to be over 18 and gamble aware.
Where shall we start? I think let's start with the game that took place yesterday, which of course ended up Manchester City 3, Tottenham Hotspur 3. There was a lot of us that thought to ourselves, this could be a real beatdown for Tottenham. But to be fair to them, they went there. They seemed to be Man City's bogey team. To be fair to them, they went there and they pulled off a great result. I mean, they rode their luck at times. I mean, Haaland should have, he should have scored a couple of goals. He missed a couple of absolute sitters in the first half. But then in the second half, Tottenham grew into the game and came from a goal down when it was 3-2 to drag it back and 3-3. And you must be happy about that, Abbi.
But is she though? Because Man City, never know. It's kind of dual supporter.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
It's the best. You got the best results you could have asked for.
That's true, yeah.
Best report.
Share the points because you just...
This
don't know
guy,
who to choose.
This
I like
guy.
that one, Matisse. I like that one.
Goes home a winner, mate.
We'll get to you. You know, you've won one game. All right, let's just calm down in your mid-table battle. Okay.
And you got your chefs when you come to cook.
Yeah, I come to cook.
You didn't win. You didn't actually win the game.
No, we didn't. But the disrespect.
Don't point at
you
me.
weren't here, but Doyle, proxy.
no, and we said that he had to take it.
Doyle actually just disrespects and then just
Yeah,
goes.
and we said
Disrespect.
agency would think what Doyle thinks.
From
so
this
thank you.
whole
No,
table.
I don't.
What, me?
The whole table.
You were the worst.
We had 5-0s, 4-1s, no chance, Tottenham. No
I said 4-2.
chance. Boys, don't sleep on Spurs. This is against City. We always rise against City.
They do.
Haaland couldn't score against Emerson Royale and Ben Davis. Yeah, he hit the post. But it's not the point. He still couldn't score against Emerson Royale and Ben Davis. And let me say, all of you said, naive. Angie's naive. You're going to get found out. No, my friends. It is bravery. It is heart. It is spirit. It is togetherness. It is teamwork. Because that is what makes the dream work.
Wow.
Okay? I know.
Wow,
I should
where
be
are you
in the
going with
change
this?
room. I'm going, it's a draw. It's a draw, right? But everyone wrote us off. We were staring down the barrel of four defeats in a row.
You wrote it yourselves off.
I
You
didn't.
said
I
you'd
said to you on the
lose.
way home the other night.
Yeah, well,
You said
a lot of people said, I don't think Tottenham's going to get anything. And I was like, are you a Tottenham fan? Yeah. A lot of Tottenham fans were like, nah, we're not getting
I said,
anything
I
from this
can
game.
see it.
Rule us out. Just, it's done. We're
That's
not
what should
gonna
have
get anything from this
happened.
game.
I said,
That's
I
what a
can
lot of
see
people were
it,
saying.
I can see it,
what
but
should have happened.
again, always think to myself, in this weird thing we have against City, there's always a chance we might
Are
not
you
leave
concerned that
empty-handed.
you've got no wins in 4?
No, I'm not, because again, against Villa, that probably should have been a win. And this is what I mean about fine margins, which we were talking about last week. Yeah, if that game yesterday is played probably another 5 times, City win that. You know, the amount of things that we managed to ride our luck on, and life is a roller coaster, got to ride it, right?
Ronan Keaton settings.
Yeah. So, you know, yesterday things went for us. Last week against Villa, it didn't. You know, we hit the post, we hit the bar. Again, Son's offside 5 times. Yesterday, our luck went for us. So it's how things just in context play out and the very fine margins in football. But I think you have to give absolute credit because, Ange, as much as you want to tell him that you don't want him to play this attacking, high line for life style of football, go for it, he's always going to do it. And I love that we do it because we still play good football. We press so high. We transition really well. Counter, we look amazing. And considering we really have no centre-backs, we've got half a team out there, you know, even like I've said every week, the players who would come in are injured, so we're going for players lower than that, you know, in our squad. So at the minute, I can only give credit to Ange because he's got a philosophy, he sticks to it. The players clearly believe and buy into it, and I think you have to applaud that. It is brave from Spurs because we could have sat there and sat back. And then what? That doesn't mean you win the game. And so many times we've seen that over the last 4 years. Spurs sit back, defend, just try and counter when you can, and then still lose the game. So I would every single time rather see what Ange puts out, and it's brave. And I love the energy and spirit that Ange has brought to this club. He has completely changed it, completely. And how dare you all? How dare you all disrespect him week in, week out? Have some respect for Tottenham.
I love
When
him,
we're
mate.
back. When we're back to a full fitness, you'll remember why we were top of the table for a bit. You'll remember why, because we are that good. And
For a
next
bit,
season,
You're going to win the league.
no, just next season.
Yeah, what's going to happen?
if we can add-
Go on, be careful with this bit.
Line goes even higher. mate.
This is where her rant goes too far.
This is what
Yeah.
we want.
Next
but listen,
season-
go on,
Let her go.
You look down that barrel and tell these viewers, 4.8k people, what's going to happen next season.
Next
Go on.
season,
Yeah, go on.
next season,
Even higher line, mate.
I think that we will absolutely finish 2nd or 3rd.
Ooh, we'll take
I thought he's
that.
going to win a trophy.
No.
But
Yeah.
Production,
So
let's
not-
clip that up
not-
now
not
so we
win
don't
anything.
forget.
No.
Yeah,
Just have it in the
I
bank.
got a text yesterday from Toby, who said,
This
He's
guy,
the
man.
worst.
right, he sent me many text messages after. He's shameless, that guy, right? But he said we could have been smoked today, mind you, but we rode our luck and properly went at them in the second half. So I want you to apologise to Abbi tomorrow
Thank you.
on the Roundup show.
Who was that from?
Toby.
Thank you, Toby.
I
Thank
ain't
you.
apologise for nothing, man.
Really bad man.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna thank you because actually it's great.
Yeah, that's the only part of my weekend.
That's what he said me
Because
down.
we were debating.
That's it.
Only part.
On
I'll take
Friday, right? In the AFTV office, we were debating. What do we want? Do we want a Tottenham win? And there was a couple who were saying, actually, yeah, Tottenham win, man. That would keep us top of the table,
Real
4-point
draw is
gap.
brilliant.
Then there was some others saying, nah, man,
For them to go
just
there.
can't
and
have
win,
them not
yeah.
winning because we're going to hear that, what we just heard there, right? And then there was another section of us saying that, but actually a draw. suits because that kind of
draw worked
keeps
for you.
Tottenham back,
Perfect
and then it
result.
it's actually the perfect result for us. But in all honesty, I thought Tottenham did play well. I thought yesterday, I saw for what I've been saying at last from Big Andrew, a bit of sense in him. He came to his senses, right? In the first half, he tried to go all gunner. He was getting absolutely battered, right? Even though you went 1-0 up, let's be real, Haaland, he missed two absolute sitters.
Doku, crossbar.
That's why.
They could've
That's
5 or
Alvarez
6 they could have
post.
scored.
Like on a different day, City would have.
yeah,
Exactly,
right.
yeah.
But what did he do in the second half? He took off Brian Hill.
Yeah,
You
he
had
And
a
he
really
brought
good
on,
one.
He went with
he
Højbjerg.
brought on Højbjerg and said, you know what, let me strengthen this thing up a bit
Yeah, he
more
did.
in midfield.
He listened to us. See.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what
all
I've
we
been.
were saying.
That's all I've been saying on certain, and that's what I was saying to Toby yesterday. He still weren't having it off of me.
And look what
right?
happened.
But that's what I'm saying. He actually, I'm not going to say he went defensive because he still attacked, but what he strengthened it up a bit. So he stopped the way in which they were just really coming at you and really attacking in that second half. You played a lot better. They found it hard to break you down in that second half. It wasn't really until it was a bit of an error from Basuma,
It
wasn't it?
was,
Yeah, he should have
I
done
think
that,
a lot.
yeah. Right.
I would say quite a few yesterday of the issues that Spurs did face were self-made.
Their own making.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but it was the midfield where he was getting
was
done. He
poor
tightened it up
yesterday.
a bit with bringing Højbjerg into it. He even brought on later on. He even brought on like Skip and things like that. He was trying to.
be fair,
You
no
see,
one
he's
else.
trying to strengthen it up.
Did you see the bench yesterday? He didn't have anyone else to bring
Yeah,
on.
but he's,
The bench
he's
was-
obviously
the bench was mad.
attempting. He's obviously attempting to just cut out that. It was a real problem in the first half, and he nearly pulled it off. However, I have to ask you, Abby, at the end of the game, right? What was the referee doing? Haaland is
This guy loves Tottenham. Simon
absolutely,
Hooper, man.
Unreal.
absolutely angry because
it's going
and I
for you,
think
it's
quite
going for
rightly
you.
so.
He let his hair down.
Right? The referees told him to play on.
Yeah.
Then when Grealish was
Clean through.
he blows up his whistle. What was he doing?
Go on.
You paid him.
Go on. Was
Oh,
that
she's
not a
speechless.
disgrace? Was that not a disgrace
No,
of a
it was.
decision?
I couldn't understand what he had seen. Like, part of me thought maybe he thought the ball was going to Porro. Maybe he thought Grealish was offside. I don't know.
He's seen
what
his
he was
bank
doing.
account for the money
But it
Spurs
was
put in.
But you've been having a go at refs a lot over the past couple of weeks.
It was a mistake. It was absolutely a mistake. I have to say, who knows if Grealish would have gone on to
Oh,
score.
well, we'll never know.
We'll never know.
Because of him.
Yeah.
Well done.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Never
Right?
know,
We'll never
mate.
know. We'll never know, guys. We'll never know.
Well, he's
But
1-on-1.
That's two
And he's
decisions
already
that
scored
you've
one
got
in the
from
game.
Simon Hooper.
Never know. Anyway,
You lot. That was,
Look, it
when I
was
think about
shameless.
it,
That's what
when
I
I
mean.
think about it, actually, you know what?
it was-
I'm taking it all back, man. They were so lucky.
was-
yesterday.
They were lucky.
When I really think about it, you know.
it was a mistake from him, and he can hold his hands up, and he has held his
He
hands
should
up. and
get
said it.
demoted.
I don't know why
Yeah.
he decided to do that.
It was
he
weird. It
he
was
needs
weird.
to explain why he
Should be in a
did
championship
that.
this
Gave the advantage and pulled it back. I mean, I would have just thought he was giving the advantage, but he must have seen something and then realised, oh, I actually didn't mean to do that. I don't know. There's no logical
He's
reason.
the worst ref out of all of them this season.
But
for
you
sure.
know what? The weird thing is, up until then, I thought
No,
he'd
Anthony
refereed the
Taylor.
game well. He'd
Yeah.
refereed
He
the
had.
game
He
well up
controlled the
until
game,
then.
yeah.
And then it was just
The thing
a
is, because
weird. It was
initially-
weird.
Initially, he played advantage.
Yeah.
And it's like as soon as Haaland actually made something of it, he was like, no, stop that.
He was
We'll
hoping
pull it back.
Haaland would go
Bring it back.
down, really.
Match
But
fixed.
Haaland got back up and played the
No, he
part.
did go down. Like I said,
Yeah,
he
but
just
he
got
got
back
back
up.
up.
But
Yeah.
to be honest, right?
It don't matter. He's playing that
Yeah,
fine.
he's doing. He literally did that.
To
Go
be
on,
honest,
carry on.
we get these mistakes every week. Like, it's not a surprise. If there was one team that needed one of those, I'm sorry, it's Man City.
is.
You guys have had so many decisions go
that's
your
true.
way.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
It was
true.
actually about time that you understood where the rest of the league has come from this season in terms of
You
decisions
got a
going
pen
against.
yesterday
So,
that wasn't a pen.
yeah,
That was
so-
Yeah, but we kind of wanted Spurs to lose that
yeah,
at the same
yeah,
time.
so-
why do you
at
want
least
us
it's
to
balanced
lose?
out a bit,
Yeah.
maybe. But yeah.
Because our predictions were wrong.
I mean, Matisse,
Way off.
Yeah.
Our predictions were wrong.
Matisse, right? You got to look on it, right? Banter aside, that was a great result for
Oh,
us.
it's brilliant, honestly.
For
Like
Spurs,
for them
wasn't
to, I was speaking to a City fan, one of my mates, whilst I was watching the game. For Tottenham to turn up with that team and go up against City like that and actually get a result, the
Shame
amount
on
of-
City.
It's really poor on City because the amount of chances they had. I mean, Haaland. I know you're angry at the end, but you could have won the game for City. The chances that you missed. So you need to look at yourself a little bit as well.
Facts.
Also, I looked at Akanji and Diaz defending out wide. This is Man City defending recently. They conceded 4 goals to us. Like, they're not defending very well.
They were,
Yeah.
they were
Like
2-0 down
Leipzig
to Leipzig.
as well.
Yeah.
Like
Diaz
they're-
was in the
they're
mud
not-
in that
they-
game.
They're not right at the minute.
They seem to miss stones because obviously when out of the centre-backs, he likes to put Akanji into midfield. Obviously, Stones is a way better version of that. But even out defending out wide, Diaz doesn't look comfortable. Akanji doesn't look great. So they need to fix. Edison wasn't great. Edison in goal wasn't great.
Gavardiol looks...
he wasn't great against us.
I don't think he's
Walker.
been...
The things that Walker's been getting away recently, if it was Trent... listen,
say it louder.
Walker's been getting away with some rubbish recently. The cross that he just let in, unchallenged at the end, he just doesn't even try to stop it. He was awful against Sterling. So
and like you said, Edison as well.
Edison
that first goal.
Great.
Really cool.
It's terrible.
Straight
I think for me, like City, I think what Spurs have proved to the league as well, to be fair to them, is like this, the fear factor of City. Obviously, they are a good team. Of course, they've got good players, amazing players, Haaland, all these things, But if you have a go, if you can put them under some pressure, they're not invincible.
No.
Like Spurs have rocked up there, like you said, with Ben Davis and bloody
Royale.
a whole back four of fullbacks.
Yeah.
You know how insane that is? A whole back four of fullbacks, and played exactly the same way. And yes, they had to ride that luck. Spurs were incredibly lucky. On a normal day, City would have been 4 up. Cool. But they still showed that, like, even in that fear of them missing chances because they're human, if you go at them and try. And you know what? I am going to admit it. I looked at it and I went, there's no excuse for, like, if Man United were there, we wouldn't do this. Fulham, when we get to your game, look at the game, look how I competed with Liverpool. We won't do that. So there's no excuses for not playing with intensity and being brave.
Yeah.
And you know what?
But what I will say is, right, to pull off a performance like that, you can't go back on your own philosophy and say, we're going to park it this game, we're going to go, defensive, because otherwise they're not going to buy into it. The only reason why Tottenham have got to the point of getting a point at City and playing that way is because in the previous games, they've continued to play that style and to stick with it regardless of what's happened with the injuries.
And that's exactly where I don't want to say I'm sorry because
you can.
I don't want to say
As I
that.
said in the text, just say, let your apology be as loud as your disrespect.
I'm not going to say sorry because
Didn't win,
you
though.
you didn't win.
But the disrespect.
There was luck,
disrespect.
and it's you and
Apologise.
Toby.
Apologise.
No one's going to be
I ain't saying
apologising.
sorry. I'm not going to look you in the
clown.
eye and say
You clown.
I'm sorry. But what I will say is I'll give you credit. You surprised me, and you know what, Matisse is right. The fact that actually Big Ange, has stuck to his principles and said, we're going to go for them. Yep, things went wrong. But what I did see, I was jealous of, like,
The fight.
the intensity that, like, Udogie bombing, or, like, as soon as, like, the pattern, I could see it. Like, as soon as the ball went wide to Brennan Johnson, where they get it there quickly, Udogie went, right, that's my cue. I'm fucking off.
Yep.
Like, Porro on the other side, that's my cue. The
Porro's
ball's just
really
gone to Son. I'm off. Like, Son, the way he held up the ball to Kulusevski, like, the mentality of them players, even a Ben Davis and an Emerson Royale, who players who know that when everyone's back, they're out. But they're buying into what this manager's doing. So
And that is something
I
that we
do
have
give
not
credit.
had.
I do give exactly.
We
I
have
do
not had
give
that for
massive credit
years.
for that. And that is where you look at it and you say, in isolation, Spurs went to Man City with all them players missing and a back four that looked like that and a midfield that looked like that.
Credit.
And played like that.
Yep.
That deserves credit.
Let's get into a load of super chats that we got coming in.
Let's get into them. 5 wins in the last 8 for Spurs against Man City. And Man City haven't... The only Big Six team they've beaten this year is Man United.
Yeah.
So not a good run for
Bad
them.
run.
By the way, 620 likes, 7,000 of you watching. If you want to get onto more cookings, make sure you smash that like button ASAP and get us to 1K. Shout out to LJ Brown, one of our favourite super chatters. He says, hi guys, want to wish a Merry Christmas or winter solstice to non-Christians. This is my last super chat until after Christmas, so could you guys and the chat do me a favour and cook Robbie for me if he goes too far?
Absolutely.
That's the most amicable.
It is.
LJ.
Big up LJ.
Big up LJ
LJ,
Brown,
yeah.
man. LJ, man. Big up, man.
Meshu Gago says, question for Flex, and this is a great question. No, I'm being real as well. You have 2 buttons in front of you.
Oh, for God's
Press the first button and Ten Hag is sacked today. Press the second button and Ten Hag is given this season, plus 2 more in which he cannot be sacked.
Wow.
Which button do you press, bro?
Wow.
Think about
great
that because we're
question,
coming
yeah.
to you.
Have a
back.
think
Just
about
Think
that.
about it. Have a think about it.
Big
Mr.
question.
Celtic, I'm so
Love
glad
that
that Ange, I'm so glad that's Ange won as he thinks he's been disrespected by the media and certain members of the DR panel. I feel we have an ignorance to new styles of play. Shout out to Matisse and Abbi though.
Thank you.
Shout out to you, my friend, for the super chat. Shout out to Josuke who says, happy belated birthday Flex. You are fantastic.
Thank you, man.
Shout out Ricky. Is this a roundup plus preview combined for midweek? Obviously, there are games on Wednesday night
We'll take a look at those.
as well. Mancunian Blue. Do you think United could go 15 years without winning the league? And if City get the 4-peat, where would you rank them as a club? And that is, I believe, his first super chat. Shout out
they
to
will
you.
go 15 years probably without winning the league.
Yeah, they will.
It's not.
Yeah, well, it's 10 already, so time's ticking, boy.
The question's
Clara Bitsy,
20.
always sending a super chat. So Abbi is going to celebrate a 3-3 win against the below-par City, while she herself disrespected Chelsea's 4-4 draw against a poor City in her own words. Clara Bitsy throwing shots.
Yeah, you did say that. You did say that.
Clara never forgets, mate.
That's
She
receipts,
never
that.
forgets, mate.
The streets never forget.
You did say
Never
that.
that. Ice Surfer.
Nah, you kinda.
I did.
Little bit, yeah.
Ice Surfer says, genuinely believe Ange has a secret OnlyFans for the VAR.
Oh, I'd like to watch it.
Ricky again.
Subscribe.
Ricky again. Spurs win versus Liverpool and draw away at Arsenal and City. Maybe too soon to challenge, but Spurs will have a say in the title. Hard to admit as a gooner. And we'll get through a couple more before we jump back into the preview, the reviews. City and Spurs are winless in their last 4 games, says Benjamin.
Wow.
Not enough said. Poor form.
City, full.
Mad,
Really?
innit?
City winless
Some
on
draw, 4 draws.
That's really bad.
John
For them.
Ramon says, I think City's defence isn't good this season. They held 4 against Chelsea. Also, some Arsenal got a clean sheet. Some celebrating wins, others a draw and 3 concede. Shout out to
conceded
John.
2. They were 2-0 down against Leipzig. during
Anthony
the week as well.
Taylor, the last one. Anthony Taylor says, you could see my face after that error from my mate. And we'll get into the rest very shortly.
Do a couple more.
Couple more. Sheldon says, at what point does it get to Ten Hag out? Can we sink any lower? Also, just wondering where Flex got Martial's kit from.
Oh, Tapping Tobes has arrived.
Mate,
Toby's
tap
in the
out
chat.
Tobes, bro.
Tapping
block
Tobes
him,
has
man.
arrived.
I bet the big
Block it,
veins
what,
in his
here,
head
Tapping
are
Tobes saying, what's he
pulsing
saying?
right now.
Shut the
man.
door. Lock it.
Toby said, would love to hear Flex's thoughts on Eric Ten Hag's future with the same I think he means same
Criticality, I think.
Thank you.
Get it right,
I
mate.
don't know if that's
Yeah.
a word, though.
You're so
Well,
angry, you can't even get it out, mate.
He applied to
Calm
Ange.
down, man.
Oh, and how's top class Bruno and your top defence going?
All right, well, let's ask
What-
Flex
what
because
button are
there
you
was the
pressing,
question, the buttons. That guy who said the question with the button. You got 2 buttons to press, right? One, what did you say? Ten Hag gets sacked today. The other one, you
This is
keep
rest
him.
of this season plus 2 more and he can't be sacked. I'm saying you got to pick this one, bro.
Yeah,
I'm saying I need more time. It's a big question.
Nah, come on.
Come on, G.
Which one you
You've
pressing?
definitely
Come on,
decided
man.
in your head. You just don't know if you want to say it out loud.
Just
in
say it.
public.
Come on.
I don't know how to change this.
I feel like we know what you
It's
picked.
this one,
anyway.
isn't it?
Jim's coming in. There's a lot.
How long?
I'm going to give him. No,
So
I'm
Jim's
going
coming
to
in
give him.
for
I'm
about
going
a
to
year
give
and a
him. I'm
half.
going to give him the 2 years.
So press the button then.
Yeah.
Confirm.
2
Wow.
years.
saw
Talk
that,
to
guys.
us.
You
Talk
saw
to us
that.
about because you know what? Even though it was only a 1-0 win to Newcastle.
Same as when you went there, and that's what I mean. You can go
No,
Newcastle.
hold it,
lose
hold it,
1-0.
hold it. Wait,
Arsenal lost
wait,
1-0.
wait,
It's the manner.
No one said
One.
that. You know what I mean?
It's the manner.
It's 1-0, mate. You
Listen,
can go.
when-
You
let
lost
me-
4-1. Well, that's worse.
I didn't say
Let
anything.
me-
You know what I
let
mean?
me-
Yeah,
let
I'm
me,
saying Newcastle good at home, innit?
I need
Let
to
me
keep
just
up.
break
what I
it.
mean?
Let me just break Flex. Let me just break it down to you, right? When we went there, we was all left that game thinking, boy, injustice, dodgy VAR decision. But
I felt injustice too.
there was no injustice on your one.
There was, because the players don't care about the fans.
You
Our
should
players
really
don't care about us.
Listen,
So
you should
it is
really,
injustice.
you should really have lost by more. That 1-0 absolutely flatters you guys. That was a terrible performance by you. There was players that being criticised for not even running. Players like Rashford, Martial arguing with the manager, or the manager arguing with Martial. Just an all-round really
Bad week.
poor performance. And at first I was sort of thinking, well, they did have to go away and play against Galatasaray in the Champions League. But then so did Newcastle. They had to go away to PSG in a really, really tough game as well. So I can't even use that as an excuse for United.
bench.
They
They
did
did get robbed.
Yeah. What's going on? How can it... I mean, it's almost like it's because last weekend, actually, it was a good performance against Everton. And then
It's a good performance against Galatasaray as well. To the keeper. Well done.
Yeah.
This is what's happening.
You sure you don't want to press this button?
No. What's happening is what it hasn't changed. So Man United are always one game away from, when they play someone decent away from home, you just get smoked. That's all in this run where we've been okay, and when you look at it in isolation, Newcastle have won that game. They're 2 points ahead of us. We're all on the same game. So you look at it like that. You go, oh, is it that bad? No, it is that bad because whenever we haven't won an away game against the top 8, well, it's funny. It keeps getting bigger. First
10,
it was
top 8.
First it was like top
4,
6,
top
then it's
6,
like top 8,
12.
it's like top 9, and it's top half
15.
since like 2021.
And we're almost in 2024.
And you know
guys.
how that's disgusting.
That
And the
is.
truth of the matter is that when Man United have to play somebody who's intense and decent away from their own home, they got absolutely no chance. And look, the truth of the matter is when we sat down this table and everyone predicted that Man United would get smashed 3-0, because that basically was a 3 or 4-0. It just wasn't in scoreline.
No, I predicted 1-0 actually.
Okay,
I think
fair
I did
enough.
it.
But like you
I
said,
think
it
I
should have
did
been way more. That could have been a Liverpool. That could have been a 7-0. Do you know what I mean? It could have been the same thing. It's indicative of like the truth about Man United, about what we really are, which obviously I'm going to give it and all that. But I know the truth about my team. The truth is that Erik ten Hag has come in and stabilised the ship and done okay last year, but he has not improved us. We're making the same mistakes that we've always made. The same players that have bottled it are still bottling it. Now, some Man United fans revert back to exactly, so until them players are gone, he didn't want McTominay, he didn't want Maguire. Well, he did want Rashford. He just give him a 350 grand a week contract. Like, that's, and the Rashford thing is one of the worst things, and I'm going to go in on Rashford, not just because it was only his fault, but Jamie Carragher, your guy, made a fantastic point after the game. When you are a homegrown player, when you are a local player, when the shit hits the fan, I am looking at you because you know more than any other player of what it takes. Do you know what I mean? When it's not going well, and when I'm seeing you with the half trot, the half jog, when I'm seeing Livramento take the ball off you and you not care, when I'm seeing you just give up, like that's unforgivable. The reason why people like Ander Herrera or Fred or McTominay get a little bly is because you go, oh, them man, they try, man. The reason why Harry Maguire was getting plaudits, wasn't because he had a fantastic game. The man was getting pulled about, flipping Isak dropping off the front, he's defending high, he's on Anthony Gordon on the half turn, had to chop him down. The reason why Harry Maguire got a little bit of a rating is because they went, fucking, he's trying to do something. Do you know what I mean? So fans, Man United fans aren't these unforgiving fans that are expecting too much. It's too much to expect. Yeah, someone like Marcus Rashford, who is Man United through and through, to show that he cares. He wasn't the only one. He was not the only one. But that was disgusting from him. And it's not something that Man United fans are so spoiled. He scored 30 goals last year. And we celebrated the fact that he scored 30 goals. But far too many times, even when the going gets tough, he doesn't get going. He sulks. And that's not good. And Erik ten Hag actually is the one giving him the most praise. He's the one hanging his hat on him. He's the one saying, I know he's going to be back. That's why I pick him all the time. And that's how he's repaying him.
In a post-match, he said, I'm not going to speak about his performance publicly.
Yeah.
That's very hypocritical considering the fact that he was very happy to speak publicly about a lot of other performances.
Exactly. So there's that. And then on Ten Hag, what I will say is this, all right, cool. I don't care about injuries. I don't want to hear it. Newcastle are threadbare and only got 11 players. They had to have 3 goalkeepers on the bench against PSG. I couldn't give a crap.
They didn't make subs against PSG.
Exactly. I don't give a crap about that because they were at it for 90 minutes, and in the last 9 minutes they went, I tell you what, we've got to bring Matt Ritchie on here. Nick Pope's just got injured. Let's just take our foot off the gas and see it out. Ten Hag tried to make out like we done well in the last 9 minutes and got a disallowed goal for offside because we stayed in the game. No, shut up, you're lying. Like, that's the truth. So I don't want to hear about that. And the players that he's bought, if you've bought an Amrabat in who's combative and strong, when you go to games like Newcastle away and stuff, that's why you got him, in my opinion. Højlund, he's strong, he's dynamic, he can run at people. You don't go back to Martial, who's passive, who ain't going to run for you, who ain't going to put his flipping arse and elbows in where it hurts and run for you. No, Anthony, as much as he ain't been good, he's going to try, he's going to run, he's going to try. So you fuck that up, excuse my language, you messed that up as well. So everything you've done in terms of players that you could have used that are 3 different players that you brought in and you should believe in, you had them on the bench. So that shows that you don't even trust what you've done. Yes, Mason Mount's injured. Yes, other players are injured. Martinez, I get it's not right. But there's still 3 guys there that I'm looking at and said they should be starting against Newcastle away with where we're at. 100%, and he didn't do it.
We've spoken about, him not being able to play the way he wants to play, with these players that he's brought in. I mean, it's just the biggest cop-out ever, because these are players you've handpicked, these are players you've had at Ajax, at other clubs before. You've chosen them to come in, so why are you leaving them on the bench? And these are the ones you've brought in the transfer market. So how can you not trust them? And one thing I would just say about the injury situation, you're absolutely bang on about Newcastle. They've got so many injuries. If you think about their week, they beat Chelsea at home, smashed them up, they go to PSG, got wrongly done on a late penalty, should have won that, then come back with the same team in all that whole week.
It's incredible.
And the difference is that they have got players that believe, and this is what I used to sit here ranting about last year. It's players that want to play for the badge and believe in the project or whatever's going on the pitch and believe in the manager. Newcastle believe in what Eddie Howe tells them to do. You see people from the academy coming through, that Lewis Miley, great, slotting right in. Anthony Gordon having a brilliant season. Didn't start off his
4
career
goals
at
in
Newcastle
6
well.
now for him.
Yeah, and they buy into what Eddie Howe is doing. And they've got so many injuries, like lots of teams, but you're not looking at it. You're not looking at it affect them in that way, because they've got that belief and that steeliness and togetherness to get themselves over the line. So even though that they might just get away with a 1-0, because they're tired and they're leggy after the week they've had, it's that belief that carries you. And you look at it from a United perspective, where they just don't care. They don't play for the badge. But we've said this over so many different managers at United.
Carragher said that Rashford is the new Martial, and he said there's no worse insult than that. Also, you've got Gary Neville saying he's tired, he's bored, he can't watch Man United.
Can I say on Rashford, I feel like because his England place is not really in jeopardy, he's also lacking motivation because he thinks he's going to definitely make the Euros. Well, I'm looking at the options on the left wing. I'm looking at Sterling's missing out on squads. He's been better than Rashford this season. Grealish,
everyone's been better than Rashford.
You've got Gordon, who's playing very well.
Bowen,
obviously, he's going to play on the right. But Rashford's position shouldn't be so undisputed that he can play like this. Because I've been a bit of a defender of Rashford because he carried your attack last season. He had a bit of credit in the bank. But you can't live off last season now. It's a new season. It's fresh.
But this is this is actually a common theme, though. This is the thing, like people who are standing by Rashford, and I'm not. I want him to turn this around. I want Rashford to go back to I want to see some consistency from Rashford because he can be a good player. But the truth of the matter is that this Rashford thing, this isn't something that's just only come through now. His whole Man United career has been like this. It's been like that. Yeah. And then in the times of the real adversity, we get nothing. And again, I don't even want to just spend time only doing the Rashford because it's going to look like, you're just trying to blame Marcus Rashford, think what he's done. It's not. Collectively as a group, that team there is the same players that was there with Oli. Yep. Some of them with Jose. So at that point, it's true. They ain't going to change.
Can I ask you this, right? If Eddie Howe had those players, would they be playing better than what they are playing?
Do you know what? I'm going to say no, and you know why?
Attitude.
Because I'm actually going to question. They say you should.
Hold
on, I'll tell you why.
The personalities,
exactly.
Newcastle,
they haven't got the minerals. They haven't got the humble nature to say,
100%.
I ain't at that level, so I'm going to fucking run.
Without a doubt.
I'm gonna put my ego aside, and I'm going to do the basics of what you need. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it.
Ange Postecoglou at Tottenham.
Yes.
The same players that last year were so
not really.
poor.
Some of it it's not. It's not the
All
same.
right.
It's not really
at the moment, it's the same player.
At the moment,
it's the same players. It's Brian Hill and Davis and.
But they're playing a brand of football. They're excited to play that brand of football
and
because
they're
they've
coming in
come
and
from
doing
Conte.
a job while everyone is out. But we had this. Remember how I was last year. This is where I was. This is exactly where I was because we had a manager that thought he was better than the club. You had players that thought they were bigger and better than the club. No one playing for the fans. No one playing for the badge. And it's the most frustrating thing when you pay your hard-earned money as a fan to go and watch every week, and you just want to see a performance. You don't care if you lose 5-4. This is what I say about Ange's season. I don't care as long as you're trying and you're playing good football and you're putting everything and leaving it all out there on the pitch. That's what we go and watch. That's what you can get behind and be proud of. And last season I sat there and we didn't have any of it. And I'm hearing you say the exact same things that I said last season, and it is not. I don't actually think it's necessarily down to Ten Hag. He's a part of it. Same as what I had last year with Conte, Levy, players. It's a mixture of all the things going on. The things going on upstairs with the board situation at United, Ten Hag, and the players. They don't care. They're not buying into it. You'd be better off, honestly. I think ripping it all apart.
And that's the one defence I do have. We have tried to do that again because the establishment's broke. Not to bore you, we don't sell players when we're supposed to sell them. They're on too much money. This is why
wage bill is ridiculous.
Wage bill's stupid.
They don't deserve
and this
it.
is why the change that is about to happen needs to happen and needs to happen quick. Because that's why I'm saying if you sack Ten Hag now, right? Do I trust John Murto, who's flipping hanging on by a thread for his job until the new guy gets here and Richard Arnold's leaving in December, to have to sack this manager now without the clear direction of where we're going to go? No. The ideal situation in a normal football club would be this. Everything's set in where you need to go and your philosophy, how you scout players, how you sell players, how you buy players, your direction as a football club is set. Then, of course, managers can come in and it doesn't fit. So what we need to do is remove the manager because everything else is there, but we need to get rid of the manager. We can't do that because the club is so mashed up and broken and needs to change. If I trust them now to get rid of Ten Hag and have some other small short-term plan until Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos come with what they want to do, we're going to be in a worse situation.
This is why, for me, it was integral that Ten Hag actually tried to play a style of play that was enthusiastic and kind of mirrored the Ajax team. First of all, because you brought in Onana, whose best attribute is to play out from the back. So if you're not using him to do that, then what was the point in signing him? But to also keep these players interested and keep them motivated. If you're playing a negative brand of football at times, then it's going to disillusion a lot of the players. And that's why I don't say Eddie Howe's going to make a big difference, because a lot of his football can be sometimes a bit defensive or a little bit pragmatic, or you need to work hard. You need almost a footballing purist, someone who just wants to put down the craziest philosophy for them to be entertained.
Ten Hag is playing like Ajax. But Ajax this season. That's the
problem.
No, they're doing it right now. They're doing it right now. They changed the manager.
Let's get into some of the super chats because I know loads of them have been flooding in on this United subject.
Yeah. By the way, I can't wait for you to come to Anfield. But Stein says, I said
Skyline,
Byline, Highline, Man City, 4-0. I'm sorry, Abby. Clara, he's just apologising because he thought City would win 4-0.
Was that the guy who said the Highline, Byline thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because that was like super chat of the day.
That was a great
Hold it!
He dropped a gem. It was like Highline, Byline, something line, 4-0, mate, or whatever. And we were like, that's a line. But at least it's come back.
By the way, Black Wolf says, I'm happy for Abby that her two favourite teams drew. Also, Abby, your hair is getting long and looks really pretty.
Thank you.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
Clara, bit of breaking news on Twitter right now. Rumours of David De Gea replacing the injured Nick Pope, who is set to miss. She says up to 4 weeks, but we've heard 4 months, which is even worse.
Go and get him.
Jerry says...
If that happens...
What?
That would be really interesting.
And then he'll go to...
That would be really...
You didn't want him.
This super chat is outrageous.
You didn't want him.
Let's say this
Jerry says, at Matisse, a.k.a. Cousin Skeeter, a.k.a. Steve Urkel, is it true that you are also in contact with Astrid Ware? Is that why X says you have a hole in your mattress?
Why have you got a hole in your mattress?
There is no hole in my mattress.
X is ruthless. Tapping Toast have already read that one out. Zizou says, question for all on the title race and top 4. Are Aston Villa going to surprise you as a dark horse and shift the odds? Mate, another point picked up. They probably got quite lucky, actually, yeah. Russell Jones, when are we going to have this Rashford versus Martinelli talk? Listen, we just spoke about Rashford. Ollie P, the difference is that Arsenal's loss to Newcastle is one loss of 1 this season. United's is 1 of 6. United's problem are deep set in the club. That's from Ollie. Ashley says, let's all appreciate, let me find it, a McAllister's worldie up the Reds. We're going to get into that. Don't worry, my friend. Carlos says, why does only Ten Hag yell at Martial and not Rashi? True. Ty Marshall says, thoughts on Man City could be facing more charges by the FA due to last night's game. Well, let's get the 115 out of the way and then we can come to that one. Mustafa says, Trossard gives me Pires vibes. Any opinions? He's more direct than Pires.
That's way
he's
too
more
far.
of a 9 than Pires.
Way too far.
Tim,
days.
Goldbridge's analogy of United was perfect. Sheldon says, Flex, if you chose to keep Ten Hag for another 2 years, what kind of changes would you expect to see? Which players are in and out? I'm sure you can do a whole video on that on United View. Come check it out. The Mr. Arsenal podcast in Ten Hag we trust. Give him a lifetime deal.
Like you did to Arteta, mate. You got to stick with your manager when even though you want him out. You got to believe.
Yep. MTB. We can't sack Eric. The cycle of sacking managers needs to end. If a new manager came in, the same issues would occur. The owners and execs are the issue. Couple more. Black Wolf says, I'm happy for Abby. You read that one out as well. Lewis says, Matisse Caicedo was never booked yesterday. That explains why he was tackling the way he did. The man knows what he's doing. Turns out he never got booked.
The thing is, on the graphic, when I was watching it on TV, he made a tackle and then there was a graphic that said it went yellow and he's like, he's been booked. So I was like, okay, he's been booked. Fair enough, because it was a booking. But I don't know how he's escaped from that game not being booked, because he should have been.
Pramathesh says, Garnacho is following Rashford in his attitude. He's not tracking back. He needs to be held accountable or he will soon lose his head, thinking he is too big. Two more. Eric Ten Hag. This is tapping Tobes again. Tap out, bro. Eric Ten Hag has been an architect of his own downfall. He signed poorly and then turned his flop signings for a guy he wanted out the door, yet he plays. And the last one, Mr. Celtic, says maybe Flex should stop coming for Andrew and concentrate on his own manager style.
I'm going to do that now.
Do you know what, Flex, right? Tapping Tobes there does make a good point, innit? Because you're there saying about sticking with Arteta and all that, but Arteta was getting players out, but the players that he bought in, you know, they've done all
Not
right.
this, yeah.
The players that Ten Hag have bought in,
Yeah, they ain't done nothing.
Yeah, mental.
not really.
Anyway, can we
lit
talk
it
about
up, have
Liverpool
they?
now? Should we stop talking
No,
about that?
let's keep talking about United now, man.
No, it's a depressing
Let's
mess.
get on to Liverpool because that was.
Oi, oi.
You know what made me laugh, right? Yesterday, my man was putting in the group, oh, what a wonderful goal by Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think he thought
Didn't say
they were going to be
wonderful, I just
winning
said, what a
4,
goal,
5, 6, and then we were giving him so much stick, right? Because then we go, oh, what a wonderful goal by Divock Origi and things like that. And we were coming back at him, but
I look like an elf.
You do actually.
there was so many worldies in that game. What a crazy game!
Crazy.
Did you expect Fulham to give you such
Shout
a difficult
out
game?
Fulham,
Because
mate.
I was thinking to myself that could be
Definitely
like
not.
a 4-0,
Easy, yeah.
3-0.
Well-
I mean, again, Liverpool conceded a lot of goals, although
Man.
they did show a lot of mettle. Trent Alexander-Arnold with 2 great goals, and you won the game 4-3.
Won the game. I had Jack Collins, a really knowledgeable Fulham fan, on the preview on the Cop TV, and he did say the left-hand side for them is going to give them a lot of joy, but also a lot of pain at the same time. You saw how well Robertson did. Excellent left-back. I thought his name was Robertson. I thought he was that good. We obviously get the first goal, which I'm going to give to Trent. I know it's technically an own goal.
Well, it's
but
an own goal.
If he doesn't do that, it
does
doesn't
come off
bounce
the
off his
keeper's
head.
goal.
Yeah, it is what it
That's
is.
such a shame,
No,
really.
it hit his head.
It's actually an own goal.
But the way it looked in real time looked like
Yeah.
it hit the bar and just went down. What a free kick. Again, then Predators are reaping the
most.
rewards. 3 goals, we'll say, in 2 games. But then the equaliser, Harry Wilson. I don't know if you remember, I've been a massive
Former
fan
player.
of Harry Wilson. I never actually thought we should have sold him. I was
He
glad
didn't celebrate,
for him.
did he?
Didn't
No, he
celebrate.
didn't, no.
Well, he was an academy player from the age of like 8 at Liverpool. So
Given it.
really good finish from him. Again, down that right-hand side, that's when the goal comes. Actually, it was Matip's fault. Trent was actually more central for that goal, but it was. I'm going to blame Matip for that. And of course, no Alisson. Maybe Alisson saves that. Kelleher a little bit slippy the other day, but we got away with it. And then the second goal, Alexis McAllister. I'm going to say this, guys.
Ridiculous.
That is as good as any Steven Gerrard goal I've seen at Anfield, any Luis Suarez goal I've seen at Anfield, any Mo Salah goal. I remember the first game I was ever at Anfield, Gerrard scored this goal against Middlesbrough 2004, where he chests it down 40 yards out. And you remember that
I remember
goal?
that goal, yeah.
It was as good, if not better than that. 33 yards out. The technique that McAllister has shown for Argentina, but also Brighton last year, where he scored 10 Premier League goals, he's starting to show that. What a incredible strike. The way he waits for another little bounce so he can catch it on the half volley. What a strike. But then the second goal that Fulham score, that has to be cleared at the corner and
really
then saved by
defending,
Kelleher again. It's kind of trickled over his legs.
Yeah, it's poor.
Second half starts, and again, by the way, in the first half, Mo misses a sitter, Darwin misses 2. So really, we should have won.
He always does.
We should have won that. We should have scored 7 or 8 goals in that game. But second half starts, and again, really nervy. And it's weird because if Fulham didn't score that third goal, I don't think we win the game, which is really weird. So they scored that goal, 80 minutes on the clock. I'm looking at this picture now. On the 86th minute, it was 3-2 to Fulham. On the 87th minute, it was 4-3 to Liverpool. It's crazy. The third goal from Endo. I know Mario has been calling him a machine recently, and he deserves his flowers. That control on the strike, just to pass it in and guide it past the keeper, he needs a big amount of credit. I think it's the first time 2 midfielders have scored their first Premier League goals for us since we beat Bolton in 2011 when Charlie Adam and Henderson scored their first goals. Really, really, really impressed with Endo. And he was a sub. We needed a goal. We're chasing the game. Bring on Endo. I'm thinking, what's he doing? But what a goal.
Yeah.
And then again,
Trent.
that's 3-3. And then Trent, it's the most Steven Gerrard-esque performance
yeah.
I've seen from Trent.
Yeah.
The way he grabbed that game by the scruff of the neck and said, no, it's me. I'm going to have to win this game. Even in the first half, the way he was
sort of
driving
in real
through
contrast to
the
what we were saying about Rashford, where you say,
yeah,
your
and
local
the
player,
lad.
your
It's
local
a great point,
yeah.
Robbie. He took that game. He almost says to himself, we're losing at Anfield, everyone's
gonna do
looking
something
at
about it.
me
Yeah.
to go and win us this game.
thing-
Win, I don't know, but to get a draw, we would have been happy with that from the position. So for him to do what he does again just proves that he does need to be playing in central midfield. Again, Mario on the
He
fan
did
cams
definitely.
last night was begging, pleading. He was saying, "Klopp, mate, if you're listening," which he probably wasn't. You need to play him in central midfield, and I think Gomez on the right. I'm kind of happy with that.
No, I don't know. I think he's good enough to just do.
Do you know what?
I don't think
where
we've
he
ever
is.
spoken
Don't need to
about a
move him.
right back this
But you-
much.
but
You
in
don't
football.
want it. You think he should stay where he
But-
is.
I
but
think he
do
just
you
stay
know
where he
what?
is.
The
Look what
point-
he's doing. He can do
Yeah,
it.
but it
The
does
point
leave
was
him quite
made
open,
about
though.
Dani Alves, right?
At the
Look at
back.
Dani
He's
Alves.
alright
Everyone
there,
said, no one mentioned how bad he was defensively, but because his link up with Pedro or Villa or Messi was incredible, you gave him a buy.
But that's what I'm
You
saying.
gave
So just
a
keep him
buy.
right back, and he's
The
just
thing
always
is,
going to
Just
do
keep
this.
giving him a buy.
He's always going to give you an X factor. What I've learned now, and this is, I'll be honest, I've always rated him, and like, yeah, I did jump on. I'd say like
Yeah.
the defensive thing's not good enough in 1v1
I
situations.
think he's turned people's opinions.
But
now, though.
what I will say is Trent is the truth. Trent is the truth. Like,
Cam's
you
made a
can't-
great point
You can't,
about him as
and you
well.
know what it is?
Got so much quality.
He's
in
got.
it.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's certain players.
And I was saying play him in midfield for England on Saturday
but
night.
I'm,
You
but
all
I'm
laughed
saying
at
no.
me.
No,
but
because there's better
Yeah.
defenders.
Yeah.
No,
Here's the thing,
because
there's
no,
certain
because-
players.
He hasn't played in the
It's
midfield.
better
The thing is,
natural
he hasn't,
midfielders.
he hasn't played in
midfield.
midfield enough at club level
Yeah,
to
it's better
justify
natural
playing there for his
midfielders,
country.
and
I
that's-
wanna
I'm
see
not mad at
him
that.
there.
I'm
But
not-
you
can
shoehorn him
change
into the team.
You can
However-
change it
No,
up.
don't
You can
shoehorn
change
him.
it up
No,
during
no,
the
but
game.
here's what I was going to say. Yeah,
You don't
there's
start
certain
with
players.
him.
There's certain players. What I've realised about Trent, right? It's a generational talent.
Bro, trust
like,
me.
There's no way of dressing it up. And when you're a generational talent,
Go on.
it means that you can allow for things because of other strengths.
Did you used to do
Yeah?
that with England before though? We used to
Yeah,
have-
no, but
when
this
we
is
had
different.
Scholes
Yeah, I
and
know.
we had,
This wouldn't be
Gerrard
listen,
and we had-
Robbie, this wouldn't be shoehorning him in. What I've realised about what he gives us is that if you're playing that, which I've actually changed my decision on, if you're playing against top level opposition and we want to be asserting ourselves in these games,
He's got to play.
you're saying to them, you better worry about him. Not, I know like Trent can't lock up someone like Kyle Walker.
You're turning from a negative to a positive.
You're turning from negative to positive to say, if he's at right back, yeah, you can say if we get the
It's a
ball
strength,
and
not a
we can go at
weakness.
him, yeah, well,
Or
when,
you- or
when
you-
England got the ball and he
Yeah.
gets involved, we're in massive trouble. How are you going to stop that? And you know what? I've changed my mind. Even when we done the EAFC thing, I went, nah, it has to be Kyle
What
Walker.
he should be.
I'm going Trent.
What he
I'm going
should be.
Trent. He's got too much. He's got too much to offer. Kyle Walker going forward. Now I look at it. Don't get me wrong.
But
accomplished the
let-
recovery
But let me
pace.
ask you this
The
now:
recovery
if you're coming up
runs.
against France in a Euros
Yeah.
final,
No, I've
and
changed my mind,
Mbappe's on that
Matisse.
left-hand side, you're
Trent.
not
Yeah.
going to want Trent on that side.
You
you
will,
know?
though.
I'm changing my
Because
mind.
Mbappe's
I'm saying
not getting
find a
back
way.
to Mark Trent when
Yeah,
Trent
but
goes
but
forward.
Trent's not handling
But
Mbappe.
okay, so
That's
when
the
it's
problem.
when it's Liverpool versus PSG, and you got thing
that's
there,
why I've always said I
like,
wanna
it's
see
the
him
same.
in
It's the
midfield.
same. It's the
Exactly,
same
bro.
This is why I've said I
conundrum.
wanna
We've
see
got
him in
Mbappe
midfield.
against Trent at flipping Anfield, but what's Trent doing? He's
We
in a
won that
mazza.
game.
Yeah, but that's why I want to see him in midfield because
Yeah.
I feel like you can.
You leave it so open.
But I think that's
behind
shoehorning him because I do think to play central midfield though, to play it inverted when we know the right time to go in there.
If Mbappe,
no, but listen,
if we're playing against Mbappe,
ask any ex-pro, any central
They'll say
midfielder.
Trent.
Yeah, it's the hardest position on the pitch. Yeah, you have to be a special. You have to. You
We've
can't
seen
just be.
players move positions before.
Yeah, but for him, I'm saying nah. I don't like. That's a different
He can
level.
win
Of,
Right, you
the
know,
game out
I
of
don't want
nothing.
you guys to go too deep in it because actually
Yeah.
we got a show coming out tonight, right, where we did our reaction to a draw. It's like a
probably out of
podcast
date
that's
now.
coming out later, right? And it's the UEFA Euro 2024 show, and we are actually going to be discussing
great
all of
show.
this. So make sure you check that out later on. We're all in our expressions on it as well. Make sure you check that out later on. We have a great debate around that. But great win for Liverpool, very important win, and keeps them
Really massive,
in
man.
second place.
Yeah.
Massive win. You got some more super chats because we got to get to Chelsea.
Mr. B says the streets are saying Enzo has more Premier League goals than Martinelli and Jesus this season. The new John Joe Shelby, apparently.
Penalties.
Morton Pedersen, shout out to you, wonder of a left foot. Only 10 top Premier League teams LFC haven't faced away from. Sorry, only top 10 PL teams LFC haven't faced away from home. Arsenal, Man United, Villa, West Ham. Arsenal toughest away game is Newcastle. No 6 PL away. So why are so many considering Arsenal favourite PL winners? Clara again. Spare some time to celebrate our win against Brighton Munich. It calls for a celebration. It was our first win on a Sunday since January the 8th, 2023. Chelsea fan. Black Wolf
No, that's
says,
nice,
Flex, I wanted to call the English police wellness to check on you after that disastrous Man United performance.
Well, good. Thanks for checking on me.
Todd says, today I finally changed my mind. Trent over Reece. And you know he's a big Chelsea fan. Sad. Enigma. LSE defence is not so good. Alisson was sweeping the dirt under the mat. It looks like Matip's going to be out now, by the way, which isn't great for us. He's been playing really well. And we need Alisson back in as soon as possible, but we got away with it on Saturday. NBA hype. NBA High says Trent hype after holding 3 to Fulham and getting cooked by Iwobi and Harry Wilson, my friend. Trent will get destroyed by... Bro, you're missing the point, though. You're missing the point of what we've all just said.
Yeah, but hold on. The goals did come down that side, didn't they?
Yeah,
well,
that's what I'm saying. The trade-off is. So
that's what I'm saying.
But what you get
that's what we're saying.
Look at the trade-off of Kyle Walker.
Kyle Walker's been poor recently. We know Walker defensively is good. It's
Normally,
he's been poor recently. My dream scenario would be, and people are saying, "Oh, salty because Reece can't get in the team for England. He's injured." If my dream scenario for the next 10 years, Walker's not even in this because he's getting old, is Reece at right back and Trent in midfield.
You can actually leave Walker.
That's my dream situation.
You can leave Walker one-on-one with Mbappe.
Yeah,
you can.
There is no way. Hold on, but there is no way on this earth you could leave Trent one-on-one with Mbappe.
Anyway, the Black Grealish says, big ups to my favourite panel. Don, your call with X was peak. Abby, you are so kind. You are just like forgiveness. You can give but can't take it. And the last one, Ricky, Flex bang on about Trent and accepting his flaws for his talent. Some Arsenal fans are putting Zinchenko on that same pedestal, and it's embarrassing. That's all the super chats.
All right, let's get into Chelsea. Chelsea also played yesterday. Big win for Chelsea against Brighton. A really depleted Brighton, by the way. Yeah. And they were missing Lewis Dunk. I was quite impressed with how well they actually done to fight back in that game.
Yeah.
The question we were asking you before the stream started, did you get very fortunate with one of those penalties? The Mudryk one in particular.
Shout out
Abby,
Milner, man.
You weren't happy with it.
Chance that's a pen. Honestly, the fact that that's been given, the game is.
I love the way we
gone.
Chelsea win segment, opportunity to speak about 10 men, 45 minutes playing with 10 men, won the game. This is how we're going to start. Crazy.
This
is how we're going to start.
I believe you started off my segment.
This is how we're going to start.
My segment, cussing out Spurs. Did you not?
I didn't cuss out
you
Spurs.
Did.
No, I didn't.
Anyway, it's not a pen. Absolutely not a pen for me. We just might as well just not have a non-contact sport. There's nothing in it. He's literally gone like that to him. It's not a pen.
It's like one of
First of all,
it's just not a pen.
It's never a pen.
And the fact that VAR have made him go
won you the game,
to the screen to check it, to give it, it's outrageous.
Let me speak my case.
It's not a pen.
I don't know
Let's
why.
get a poll, please.
Let me speak on the case because
poll for the pen.
Because the whole chat saying it's a pen, right? Chelsea,
it must be true.
Mudryk is, Mudryk is running in on goal. He's going to get there. The defenders come across, put his arm on him, and he's not gone for the ball.
Have some respect. His
right?
name's James Milner.
Whatever.
James
Milner is specifically that can't keep up with any quick winger. He knows he's not getting there, so he's put his arm and his body across Mudryk and sent him to the floor in the penalty box. Of course it's a penalty.
Not a pen.
You can't make that type of challenge, not get the ball.
If it's outside the box, is it a free kick?
Nope.
You probably do get a free kick for that because he doesn't get the ball.
Not.
He doesn't get the ball. But when you're going towards, if you're going towards goal, if you're going towards goal and you're about to have a shot on goal, how is that not a penalty?
It's soft, man.
Soft.
Have we not seen soft penalties all season?
It's
Why is it when Chelsea get a penalty?
Not when Chelsea. I'll say it for anyone. I'll say it for anyone.
We've seen so many.
About City loads of
We've
times.
seen so many soft penalties this season. That one is a penalty because under the rules of this season, if you're hitting someone in the box, if you're coming into contact with someone in the box and you don't get the ball, it's a penalty. We've seen it countless times. Now when it's Chelsea, it's like, oh, outrage. No, man, it's a penalty.
I just think he couldn't take the physical contact.
It might be soft, yeah, but it's a penalty.
Gone down. It's just.
But why should he have to? Why should he take the contact?
I don't even think it's a foul. I just think it's a physical coming together because the contact's
Not
everything.
Not every contact is a foul.
Yeah,
that's just.
It's just a little. It's not even. There's nothing on it. It's just not a pen.
There's contact.
And you know.
But anyway, let's talk about the game.
You're so shameless.
I'm not shameless. There's a pen.
You know it's not.
Anyway, Enzo.
You're ruining his moment.
Let's talk about the game.
First Premier League
Let's talk about the game.
Enzo with his first ever Prem goal.
Yeah, well, first pair of Prem goals, I guess, got a double. But listen, the performance was all over the place, man. These guys nearly gave me a heart attack, honestly, because Brighton, even without their first 11, just like Newcastle, when you guys got Old Trafford, bro, they play. It doesn't matter who's out there. It doesn't matter who's out there for them. They had no João Pedro from the start, no Dunk, no Webster, no Estepanan, no Pascal Gross. He was on the bench. Matoma was on the bench. No Solly March. Bro,
a bunch of guys you can't even say the names.
And they played during the week.
Yeah.
But
Thursday night.
Yeah, they played during the week, and you're thinking to yourself, yeah. But it doesn't matter because Brighton are still going to play the way Brighton play. And they're bopping it and passing it and keeping the ball. And they still move like a machine. So you have to give a lot of credit to them. Enzo stood up. A lot of people been disrespecting recently on this platform, on a certain podcast.
Stand up,
been
though?
saying a lot of things, certain culture camps.
tapping header.
You know what I'm saying?
Enzo hype.
Calling him John Joe Shelby and all these things. Listen,
Hey, John,
Enzo Fernandez, right? It was a great performance from him. He basically carried that midfield. Gallagher, sent off. We're going to talk about that. Caicedo, I don't know how he wasn't booked because his tackling technique was awful in that game. He should have been sent off. He should have been sent off, really, in my opinion. But Enzo Fernandez stood up, got a goal, and I was so happy, Robbie, that we played 4 centre-backs across the back 4. This is something I'm not trying to copy from Man City. I don't like it. When I see 4 centre-backs across the back 4, I'm thinking no one's overlapping on out wide, no one can cross,
No outlets,
no one's giving nothing. But the one thing I did say before the match, if you're going to play 4 centre-backs with these suspensions and injuries at full-back, get the ball into the box, win set pieces, corners. Yeah. I want even long throws. I don't know why big teams are so afraid to do the long throw and do the set piece thing. Get the ball in the box. You got 4 defenders, and that's where both the first 2 goals come from. We get the ball in the box. Badiashile and Jackson are winning the headers, and we get the goals from Enzo. So he put away his penalty. And yeah, the defending, I mean, for the first goal that we conceded, Colwell, I don't like him at left back, man. Yeah, but he's backing away. He's doing the cha-cha-cha. He's cha-cha slide. He's backing away. He almost backed away into his own goal. He's not engaging. And it's happened a few times this season where he's been at left back and he's asked to defend 1v1 if the winger's coming at him and he's just backing
He's not
away.
comfortable there. Like,
he's not comfortable there.
He's a centre-back.
I don't like seeing it. So and Ian Maatsen was an option. We don't use him. So
Is that a question that is for Poch then? Why keep playing him in a position you don't like?
I think he doesn't seem to trust Ian Maatsen at left back, which is a shame because he was in the championship team of the season last year. I really like him. But we do have some injuries and suspensions at fullback. Yeah, we conceded some goals. And with 10 men, Gallagher, idiotic challenges, the second
Captain
one.
for the day.
Your captain. It's almost captain complacency. Reece James 1 week and then Conor Gallagher the next. So that's what they're doing. And I thought at 10 men, this is the worst team to go behind 10 men, no matter who's playing, because they will make you feel like you're playing with 10 men when you have 11. So the way they move the ball around, us with 10 men for an entire 45 minutes, I never thought we had a chance. But we played well to get through that and actually get the win. I was actually quite proud in the second half
game
to have 10 men against Brighton and actually see it out. Was really good. And Badiashile, by the way, that's a good player. I'm telling you. I know he had a stinker against Newcastle, but he's a proper centre-back. He's a proper centre-back.
You'll be pleased to know you're still 10th. You haven't moved.
I don't care about that. I don't care about the league table.
Abbi's on it today.
I don't care about the league table.
This is what happens.
Don't forget to download
not a
the
pen.
Fair Play app and bet with your mates. It's a DR Sports special this week. You can get a £5 bet if Manchester United or Chelsea score. They're going to be playing during the week using the promo codes SCORES. And users need to be 18 plus, be gamble aware, scan the QR code and download to make your bet.
We've also got FCM takeover for the watch along of Man United Chelsea on Wednesday night.
So yeah, make sure you check that
out.
Arsenal 2, Wolves 1. You know what? A game that Arsenal were absolutely cruising, right? And should really have scored. A bit like that City game yesterday where we should have scored more. You know what I mean?
You make a habit of going ahead early and then
done it against
them back.
Well, actually, no. Funny enough, we haven't been going ahead early. That was the first game this season in which we scored in the first 15 minutes. We actually scored 2 in the first 15 minutes of a Premier League game. But I thought the goals were good. I mean, the second goal was brilliant.
Fantastic
Absolutely brilliant. The move on it. The Jesus just cushions that pass as Zinchenko cuts it back. Odegaard.
Great goal.
Brilliant finish.
Great goal.
He was back to his best on Saturday.
Free flowing.
Yeah, he was
That's a
absolutely
proper
brilliant.
Arsenal goal.
Yeah.
You really think of like the tiki-taka, that's a Wenger
another
available goal.
Yeah, another goal for Saka as well in the game. And
I haven't seen
so
the goal.
comfortable. But then, as we know in the Premier League, if you don't put the game to bed, right, and you make a team come back, which we
Great
did
goal
right
as
at
well.
the end. Cunha got a 1 back. But Arsenal managed to see it out and again should have scored. You know, Nketiah,
at the end.
1-on-1 hits the post. But 3 points for Arsenal, big 3 points for them. It's been a good week for Arsenal. Finished top of their Champions League group and then getting that win and still remain top of the league. Kind of going under the radar a bit because we haven't really been, playing. You know, when I say playing teams off the park, it's not. We've been playing in a different way this year. We haven't been. you know, I mean, the great entertainers like maybe
Do you agree,
Tottenham
Abby?
have
What do you
been.
think about Arsenal?
When
What
they,
do you
when
think?
they say just like going onto the radar, it's like it's
You're
literally
not,
like you
though.
just meet someone that's an Arsenal fan. They go top of the league, nice to meet you. Like, that's literally it, under the radar.
No, we are. When I say the reason why I say that, right? Because remember, like last
over the radar,
last
mate.
season, sort of like, you know, the plaudits what you guys are getting for your style of football.
Yeah.
We were getting that
No,
last
but
season.
we've
right?
said like
With the way-
you're much
but-
more mature. I think.
Yeah,
in the way
this
that you
season
play
it's a
now.
lot different. It's
Yeah.
like even that game, it's like
Grinding it
2-0,
out still, yeah.
and then it's just like
That's what you gotta do.
you know, we're just like
Grind
right,
it out.
lock it
But
off.
you're consistent.
The
Only
thing
lost
is-
one
the
game
thing-
all year.
Similar to Trent, right? I've been thinking.
wins.
I was thinking this in the last few weeks about Zinchenko, and I was just waiting for a moment to bring it up. The defending, right? Again, another person that can't defend. It's just clear and
Yeah,
obvious.
his defending was
But
awful.
But involved in the second goal,
Exactly.
right?
Brilliantly.
Great pass.
Brilliantly.
So that's the trade-off.
Why
You play
can't?
him.
No, but this is my thing now with Zinchenko. Why can't he move into the left 8 position?
Well, there's been a big argument
And then
since last
Tomiyasu,
season.
who's much better defender, and Timber when he comes back from
Yeah.
injured, can play in that left back.
Funny
position.
enough, right? There's been a big argument about that all season amongst Arsenal fans, and last season, saying me and James have had this, and James saying just play him in midfield.
He's press
for
resistant.
the Ukraine.
He can pass.
For the Ukraine, he plays in midfield.
Yeah.
And he's excellent.
Yeah, but you could also
Like,
got to think
in
about
that game-
injuries. He hasn't got any other left backs as well.
Tomiyasu.
So,
Tomiyasu can
No,
play
no.
there.
So
He
if they're
would have had
both- so if they're
Tomiyasu and
both-
Timber.
No, yeah, exactly. So at the moment, he
Yeah.
hasn't got Timber. So he might be thinking, if I do that, great. But if one of them pops down, then what do I do?
I mean, in that game, it weren't just a mistake. that
Tomiyasu's
you-
had a few injuries this year.
It weren't just
Because
a
it's
mistake.
not like he asked the left back to overlap
Yeah.
anyway.
No,
Matisse
he's
Zinchenko
always
could do
inverted,
that
yeah.
next to Martinelli easily.
Matisse, it wasn't just the mistake you saw. Trust me, he made about 3 others as well. Right?
Yeah, I heard, yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
We got away with. So
I would agree
yeah,
with him
and
personally.
apart from that, it would have been a really solid performance. But good win for Arsenal. Arsenal winning by 2-1. Let's just quickly run through the others. Brentford beat Luton 3-1. Burnley 5-0 winners over Sheffield
out
There you
United.
go,
Birdie,
Vincent, mate. Said he'd get that double.
Sheffield United manager Heckingbottom's due to be sacked today.
Now we've got to play them on Wednesday.
Yeah,
New manager
yes.
bounce.
First
And
manager
they're
That's
talking
it,
about
mate.
bringing back
Chris Wilder.
Chris
Is it?
Wilder.
Do you know who I'd love
yeah.
to go in
That'd
there?
be mad.
Get Neil Warnock back it.
Get him
Just
in
for the
there.
crack.
He doesn't
Right.
belong in the Premier League anymore.
Ah, he does, mate.
Nottingham.
That's like, you may as well just bring Owen
love him,
Coyle
yeah.
and Sam Allardyce.
Remember Owen Coyle with the shorts?
Yeah.
With the shorts.
Ian Holloway. Ian Holloway.
That's a mad
Yeah,
shout.
The old school man back.
Alan
Ian
Kirkchley.
Holloway.
Yeah.
Nottingham
Martin
Forest.
O'Neill.
Aren't you getting back
Martin
on?
O'Neill.
Other results there. Nottingham
Martin
Forest
O'Neill.
beating Everton. Sorry, Everton
other
beating
way
Nottingham
around, mate.
Forest by a 1-0. That was a big win for Everton.
We didn't think they'd win that.
And then going through Bournemouth 2, Aston Villa 2. Bournemouth were 2-1
What a
up.
header from Ollie Watkins, by the way.
yeah.
Oh, my word.
They
what a
will
header.
look on it like points drop now. Now, you know, they're pushing, but they're still in the top 4.
Got a long way to
After
go.
that, West Ham 1, Crystal Palace 1. Again, mistake by Mavropanos put Crystal Palace back in that game. And of course, we've got a lot of games coming up this weekend. Arsenal going to Luton tomorrow night. 8:15.
Not this weekend, the
kickoff.
midweek games.
Yeah, tomorrow night.
Yeah.
They play Luton tomorrow night, didn't
Yeah,
they?
tomorrow
no,
night, yeah.
There's games coming up this weekend. I'm saying this midweek.
got-
Yeah, sorry, I meant to
Yeah.
say this week.
Yeah,
My apologies. So Arsenal go to Luton tomorrow night, 8:15 kickoff.
forward to that.
Wolves versus, but I am
Nice
looking
and
forward to
local.
that. Wolves versus Burnley. That's as local as Liverpool, isn't it? Right. Brighton versus Brentford on Wednesday. Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth. Fulham versus Nottingham Forest. Sheffield United versus Liverpool. Aston Villa versus Man City. That is a great game.
with these
And
8:15
also
kickoffs?
Manchester United versus Chelsea. Both of those games kicking off at the same time.
That's on Wednesday, right?
2 great games. Villa
They
versus
are top games.
Villa versus and then on Thursday night it's Everton versus Newcastle 7:30 and Tottenham versus West Ham.
great round of
Let's get a few
fixtures.
predictions. Tottenham versus West Ham.
Romero's back. Get in there. We've got centre back.
He's going to get sent off again, so don't worry.
You get sent off in that game.
He's back.
They've got a good record against you, West Ham, innit?
Yeah, they do at home. They've
yeah.
always done us at home.
A bit like what you
Really
do
annoying.
to yeah.
Really annoying.
To City.
But no, I'm gonna go 2-1 Spurs.
2-2.
I had 2-2 as well.
We've got to win this.
2-0 Spurs, they beat them.
2-0. West Ham, good team. I had 2-2.
I'm going 1-1. Actually, no, it's always high scoring now with Tottenham. 2-2. I'll go 2-2 as well.
what I mean.
Just because you know
3-2 is not a bad shout as well, to be fair.
you know that West Ham ain't coming to attack.
They're not playing.
They're coming to defend, right?
attack,
and that may be
Counter-attack.
those may be the sort of teams that will give Spurs more problems. Everton versus Newcastle. That's a good one.
Mate, that's a tough. It's
that
the worst.
Everton?
You don't want to be
At
going there
Everton,
on a
at
Thursday
Goodison.
night. I don't know
at
how.
Goodison, but
It
Newcastle.
depends. It does depend on Everton though, because like I said, when Man United was going to go there, you thought under the lights they're going to be really intense, and it wasn't.
Do you think if you wouldn't have got that like ridiculous goal early
That
doors,
worldie,
I
really
think,
helped.
I
it's
feel like
always-
that
of course.
changed, maybe
It-
changed
I
the
agree.
energy.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
think they win the
No,
game.
but we
if
say
they
that.
score
But we
that.
say that. But Everton didn't change after that. They were on us and
Yeah,
had loads of
but they
chances.
had-
It was
they had
still the
loads of
game.
chances, yeah.
But
Couldn't
yeah,
put 'em
but
away.
it depends on Everton. This can be a tricky game for
fancy
Newcastle.
draw.
Where you going?
I
Draw.
fancy draw.
Draw? I think Everton win this. I think Everton win, yeah.
Newcastle could easily
2-1.
win
2-1 Newcastle.
I fancy.
I'll go 2-1 Everton.
Draw.
Aston Villa versus Man City.
Do you know what?
That's
So,
really
no
incredible
Rodri.
at home.
Right? This
No
is a
Rodri.
fixture.
No
Incredible at
Rodri.
home.
No
No
Grealish
Grealish.
against his old team. I think.
really?
And there could
Doku
be
might
no
be
Doku,
injured.
might have
suspended.
picked up a bit of an injury.
I tell you
And
what.
Villa at Villa Park.
Conceded a
Rodri's
lot
the
of
big
goals,
one,
City.
Rodri's
I
They
tell you
conceded
what,
a lot
right?
of
If
goals.
Villa win that game, one, it wouldn't surprise me because of Man City's form and how good Villa have been. But if Villa beat Man City, I think they're almost, I wouldn't say nailed on, but at least top 5. If
Yeah,
they
top
go
three.
and beat City,
I'm gonna go 2-2.
at least top 5.
It's gonna be goals.
I think
I'm
that's
going.
a draw as well.
I'm going 3-2 Villa.
No
Little
Rodri, there's
classic.
definitely goals.
I'm actually going to go 3-2 City.
Right.
I think 2-2.
I think City will win it, to be honest. 2-1. But Villa is a hard place.
Mate,
we
they
we
don't
gotta go
lose there.
Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. Very
Who's
good.
there?
Man
The last
United versus Chelsea.
But such a
0-0.
mid game.
Literally
Such a
1-0.
mid
Some dry
game.
game. Imagine.
Proper dry.
It's big for me and
dry
Matisse.
game.
No,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
But it's not for
Mid.
anyone else.
Where you going?
Robbie, I don't know.
Is it possible to do like minus scores? Like minus
gonna
1
be
all?
so
to be fair, we've been entertaining.
This is going to be so bad. This game.
We have not. It's you, and I can't have you coming in and doing that. 2-1 Man United.
That's his
Matisse?
go-to, isn't it?
Yeah. Never ever happens.
2-1 Chelsea.
Abby?
1-0. This is going to be boring.
How's it gonna be boring?
It won't
Just
be
going to
boring.
be. I think
There's
they're both
goals in
mid,
the market.
1-0
boring
Chelsea.
teams.
You're going 1-0
1-0
I don't
Chelsea.
think
They're
it
boring,
is.
not us.
You're going what? 1-1?
1-1.
Chelsea
yeah.
been scoring a lot of
We've
goals.
been scoring
recently.
goals.
Yeah, I know.
We conceded
think-
12 in the
No
last
block
4
United,
games.
yeah.
I'm going
Low block United at
2-1
home.
United, I think. The United are strong at home, innit? Hold on, wait a minute. No,
No,
they're not,
no,
though.
they're not.
no, they're not.
They're
We're
boring.
alright.
just not. This is
we
just
just,
a myth.
we
boring
just get
and
by.
horrible to
Any
watch.
game we play, whether it's home
Oh
or
my
away, if we
God.
win,
But
we
then they'll
just
play
get by.
bigger
No.
teams and
Low block United.
Home don't
At
mean nothing
home,
this year. Not like last
Chelsea
year.
Yeah,
don't
like
like
one
a
about
low
Last
block.
year was a fortress,
1-0
mate.
2-1 United. Sheffield United versus
I hear
Liverpool.
what you're saying.
Liverpool will win easy 4-0.
I'll go.
New manager bounce.
Yeah,
They
that's.
probably won't even have a manager in by Wednesday. Probably be interim. They
Might
ain't doing
not,
nothing.
might be, might
I'll
be.
go,
I
I'll
think-
go 3-1 Liverpool.
I think you're being kind.
I think I am
You go?
actually.
I think you're being kind. You're at home,
They
no?
did
No,
do-
wait.
Oh,
they
you're
did-
away.
Yeah, that's
Struggled
what
to
I
beat
mean.
Luton.
I'll give them a
remember that
goal.
game.
Yeah, they
Actually,
did. They
I'm going
drew
to change
Luton.
it. If you were at home, I'd say different. But I think 2-0. 2-0
Alright.
Liverpool.
I'll probably
Take that,
go-
man.
Oh, 2-0 Liverpool as well.
Take that.
3-0
2-1.
Liverpool.
Who's a bit more spirited? New manager bounce. You know what it's
2-1
like.
Liverpool, yeah?
Liverpool, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Was he going to have a go at me just because
No,
I
no,
win
I'm
it?
just
yeah?
checking,
It's up
just
to me,
checking,
innit?
I
Well, I
was
go
just-
for it.
Couple
Right?
more super chats to get through, yeah?
Luton versus Arsenal. I'll go
At Luton.
2-0.
At Luton.
It's at Luton. I'll go 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal. There'll be some adversity, like Luton will give it a go in that.
3-1
But
Arsenal.
2-0. 2-0.
3-1.
3-0 Arsenal.
That'll
Abby?
be fine. Go on, just say your draw that you always
You
say.
really?
Come on,
Oh, yeah,
Abby.
go
You
on
always
then.
say draw.
Draw.
Good,
When we
because
know
every
that-
time you say draw,
When you
we
say
win.
that means you think they're going to win. You just can't say it.
2-2.
Some super chats.
Yeah, Jay
Alex.
Sykes reminding us that Liverpool play Arsenal 3 times
Yeah.
between the
Drew
23rd
you in the FA
of
Cup.
December and the 5th of
ridiculous.
Better beat them in the league.
Jan.
So FA Cup, well, what's going on with this draw, man? Last year, we got Man City away in the 3rd round. Now we got Liverpool.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
what's going
good.
on?
Good.
And what's going on with the draw as well? Because we're supposed to be getting home games every single time, and now you draw us away to Wigan. Fix
Oh,
it
yeah,
up.
that's really
You
hard.
should be at home all the time.
I fancy Wigan.
Yeah?
I can't lie. The Latics. Up the ticks. Up the ticks, mate. But yeah, looking forward to seeing you
Yeah.
at Anfield, my friend.
I'll be there.
Yeah, 100%. Tom
No,
Miller.
is that it? I thought it was
The,
Emirates.
the league game's on the 23rd of December.
Oh, and then you go
Anfield.
Emirates for
Then
that.
January
Then
6th for Emirates, and then,
And then
February
back.
the 6th for Emirates
Yeah.
as well in the league.
Lovely.
Todd Miller, we will
Trilogy.
never win a trophy under this new regime until we get some true leadership on the pitch. I love the 3 points, but my heart can't take it. Todd Miller, hella depressed today, Rob, man.
Yeah.
Dallong says, Milner takes his legs out. Please open your eyes, guys.
Oh.
I'm not
But
sure.
what Hussein says, the last time Manchester United won an away game in the Premier League against a team starting the day in the top 8 of the table was when Ollie was the manager in
Wow.
2021. Is that right?
Wowza.
That's the best away record in the league when there's no
Yadvendra.
fans.
Yadvendra says, Robbie, please watch the game before commentating. The two Fulham
about which
goals
one?
were in transition, one from a corner. Trent was not at fault for any of them.
No, I just said they came down the left side.
Yeah, they did. But
Right, which is-
the
he's
first
the-
goal,
he's
Trent
the-
was actually in the middle.
He's the right back. We're
Josuke.
saying he's in the middle, right? Positioning.
Josuke says, Matisse, will you cook Saeed on the Big Six?
How am I going to cook him when we play him literally on Wednesday? It just wouldn't be very clever, would
When
it?
you must, you didn't must.
Yeah, I'm going to be clever with this one. I'll probably
NBA, can't wait for us to cook United
Myself,
3-0. Yadvendra, when is the preview for El Trashico? As usual, Matisse overhyping Enzo Fernandez. Well, they're going to do a preview after this on United View, right?
Yeah.
So go and
How
watch
about
that.
overhyping it? We played well.
O'Malley, 47 yellows and 3 reds. Where is the narrative about Chelsea's poor discipline?
Yeah, I mean, there's no need to build a narrative. We've already built it. We already know in our fan base. We've said it many a times.
No need to build a
7
narrative.
yellows.
It's already there, mate.
Pretty clear that
47 yellows.
Yeah, the
That's a
discipline
madness,
stinks.
Rob.
It's ridiculous.
How many is
Mind
that
you,
per
they
game?
have got about 47 players.
Yeah, That's like 3
That
per
one
game.
is fine, mate.
Do we though? Do we, Robbie? No, we don't.
Name all the yellow
We
cards.
sold them all.
The Black Grealish, few more. Zinchenko and Son were like that meme with 2 Spider-Mans. That one. Garbo says, what are you all on about? It's a penalty, although it pains me to say it. Mudryk was taken out before he gets a chance to hit the ball.
Thank you.
not
Shout out Ricky, Rob.
Soft. But probably was, but soft.
Not
He
fair.
was.
Oh, here's a big one. Robbie, have we finally replaced Vieira after 18 years, says Ricky.
Declan Rice.
What a
I mean,
question
I
that
don't
is.
want to go too far, but honestly,
Don't
Well,
go
the
there,
performances are just as commanding.
don't say it, mate.
Declan Rice gives me
Don't
that
say
vibe.
it.
He gives me that vibe. He's like, I think it was Stricto who said the other day, right? We was doing a player ratings.
He's reckless,
No, it's
man.
Turkish.
Stricto.
Turkish.
Reckless.
Turkish said he goes, Declan Rice, like he gets a 7 out of 10 before he's even stepped on
Yeah,
the
he
pitch.
does. That's
a good
exactly what I've
point,
been
man.
saying. Yeah.
He's so
Minimum
consistent.
7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Carl's Mick says, Robbie, you were chatting tough last week, calling Ange, dared him to play a high line. He took the point at the Etihad with no centre-back. Hold that, you sausage.
Congratulations him. But
I'm not gonna
what I
read that
said
out, what he said.
is he was more sensible in the second half. And would you not agree with me that when he listened to us?
He's watching the
How
show.
about, look, he
That's
brought
true.
Højbjerg on and I mean, he didn't
Skip.
go gun-ho.
Yeah.
I said if he goes gun-ho, you could be sitting down on a mega defeat. And you nearly
And they
did.
still nearly did.
You nearly did in that first half.
Went mega.
And
They
then,
should have scored like 7
and then he
goals
woke
as well.
up. He woke up
being
and he
honest.
strengthened it up, and that's what I'm saying.
this is the-
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's a bad manager. I'm not saying you can't have your principle. I was saying this to Toby yesterday, right? I remember even with Arsene Wenger, particularly towards the end of his reign, that used to be his problem. We go away from home, and you think he can go toe to toe with anybody.
One-
And I used to be like, remember that time we lost 6-0 at Chelsea?
Yeah, that was beautiful there.
Wow.
He went there. He literally
Wenger's
went
a
there.
game. Oh.
He literally went there
Even
with
Salah
it.
scored.
Jose,
Oh,
man.
He
Jose's
literally, it was a
savage.
similar.
Those were the days.
It was almost like a similar thing. We went there with an inferior team. We
We
had a
had
lot
Salah.
of injuries, and he tried to go toe to toe with the Mourinho team, and we got battered. So
We had Salah.
yeah, so to me, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you've got to be sensible.
thing
You've
is-
got to understand what you got before you understand what I'm saying. That's what I'm
It's
saying.
similar to the Chelsea game, whereas if City had taken their chances, if we had taken our chances, it could have been a big scoreline, and then maybe the
Slumpers.
narrative would have been a bit different. So, yeah, got
So
to be.
are you referring to our game?
Yeah, like you
Nine
should have
men
lost that.
game.
You should have lost that 9-1.
But we didn't.
You should have
We
done.
didn't.
And if you did,
we also could have
if you
equalised
did-
multiple times while you was missing 45
I'm just saying.
chances.
All right, at some
Starting
point,
them over the bar.
it's
It's just
men.
about
At
being
some point,
sensible
You
sometimes.
struggled against 9
At some
men.
point, hopefully, somebody starts taking a chance.
Just to be
at
massive.
some point.
That's what
Couple
we'd
other
like.
super
Maybe we
chats.
won't get corrupt.
Morton Pedersen says Erling Haaland should have been punished for his behaviour towards Simon
Simon Hooper.
Add that to your
And you
chat.
got any?
No, we're all done.
We're all done. That's all the super chats done. We've come to the end of the show today. It's been a really busy one because we've also been previewing the games that are taking place midweek. Remember to download that.
Download.
That's down. What happened to your season?
Implode.
Download.
We don't implode, man. We've got Declan Rice. Download
Wow.
the Fair Play app, free app to bet with your mates, right? And it's a DR Sports special. This week's special is get a free £5 bet if Manchester United or Chelsea score using the promo code SCORE. It's definitely going to have goals in that game. That is not going to be
I
a
don't know
0-0.
if United will score any, but
Right, it won't be a nil. It won't be a 0-0. Right, so guys, just
Won't
get
be a
there.
0-0.
Last week,
Shouldn't be, no, it shouldn't be, no.
Last week Saka delivered. These two are going
we haven't
to
even
they got
drawn
to
a
deliver,
game
right?
all year. Not one
Yeah,
draw.
you've not drawn any game.
First time for
That's
everyone.
true.
That's true, actually.
Users need to be 18 plus, be gamble aware, and scan the QR code to download and make a bet. The link is in the description. I want to thank
What a
our
show.
panel. Thank you, Matisse.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Flex.
Pleasure.
Flick.
Thank you very much for going out to AGT. And we got
And no fake stats today.
Got to leave it with
no
Abby.
fake stats. And thank you for my cake as well, guys.
Can we have some?
Ty, we'll go straight onto that.
Ty's gonna
Yo,
get
Ty.
it.
Yo, Ty. We're finished now.
Is this just a plain
Yo, Ty, we're
sponge,
finished the
plain
show. You can have.
sponge with a
yeah,
Thanks to you guys.
Ty,
Don't
bring the
forget
knife,
the FCM takeover. Don't forget as well, we've got a big video coming out tonight.
Oh, yeah.
On the video we did with EAFC 24, where we're talking about the Euros. It's absolutely brilliant. All of us are on it. Expressions, the FCM podcast goes, Raul, everybody. You've got to check that out. So check that out tonight. And of course, we'll be back on Thursday reviewing the games at the weekend and also looking back at the games that have taken place this week. Thank you.